guys, what's up? I'm Dusty Smith, and this is the Cult of Dusty. Christianity is, without a doubt, the largest terrorist organization in the entire world. With almost 2 billion members worldwide, there is not a single terrorist organization in the entire world that has the reach and the resources of Christianity. Now, some of you might be thinking, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? Christianity is not a terrorist organization. Really? I was born into the cult of Christianity like most children, and believe me, from the time I was born, I was told every day of my life that if I did not submit to this dogma, I would be tortured every single day for eternity. Are you trying to tell me that that's not terrorism? Fuck that. That is the very goddamn definition of terrorism. When you tell children that if they do not submit to your dogma, they will be tortured forever and ever and ever, that is fucking terrorism. In fact, that's terrorism of the worst kind because you're doing it to children. I was so fucking freaked out when I was a kid. I was so afraid that I was going to do something wrong and end up being tortured forever and ever and ever. Do you people even understand, even in the slightest, how traumatizing this is to the mind of a child? To tell them that they don't follow these certain set of rules, they're going to be tortured forever? That is the very goddamn definition of terrorism. So don't any fucking body try to tell me that Christianity is not a goddamn terrorist organization. I was raised in it. I was fucking terrorized by it every day. And I wasn't just terrorized by the thought of me getting tortured alone. My father was an atheist. He was an atheist my whole life. And I can't remember how many sleepless nights I lied in bed crying because I believed that my father, who I loved more than my own life, was going to be tortured forever and ever and ever. In fact, without a single doubt in my mind, the terrorizing that I went through pretty much cost me a lot of my relationship with my father. Because I was really afraid to get close to my father because I really thought that he was going to be tortured forever and ever and ever. And the closer I was to him, the more that hurt me. It hurt me to think that somebody that I loved and cared for so much was going to be tortured forever. And so as a child, I made myself distant to my own father to save myself that pain and that agony of thinking that he was going to be tortured for eternity. It's really hard for me to believe that anybody in their right mind would subject their children to this. But they do. Lots and lots and lots of you, like 80 goddamn % of you, are fucking terrorizing your kids every day, and for what? This goddamn bullshit is not true. There's no evidence backing up the Bible whatsoever. Now, some of you Christians might say that it's not terrorism because it's true. For some reason, you really do believe that an all-loving God will torture people forever and ever and ever if they do not submit to Him. So you think you're doing right by your children by teaching them this bullshit, and you tell yourself that it's not terrorism because it's true. Well, that is goddamn retarded. Let me ask you a fucking question. Let's say Osama bin Laden kidnapped your entire family, and he had a gun to your wife's head, and he told you that if you did not do what he wanted you to do, he was going to blow her brains out. Now, if he actually does go ahead and blow your wife's brains out, does it make it any less terrorizing? Just because it was true and he carried out the threat, does it make it any fucking less terrorist? No, it doesn't. It's just as fucking much of a terrorist threat if he carries it out if he doesn't. So the fact that you believe it's true does not make it any goddamn less terrorizing than it would be if it wasn't true. So don't fucking tell me that this isn't terrorism. I know firsthand, I was goddamn firsthand terrorized by this bullshit. In fact, I'll do you one better. I terrorized others. I was a fucking Christian terrorist. I terrorized lots of people with this bullshit. I told them they will be tortured in extreme agony forever and ever and ever. I terrorized their mind. I tried to fucking terrorize them because I thought that they needed to be terrorized. I thought that by terrorizing them, I was actually doing what was right. And that's what every fucking terrorist believes. Every goddamn terrorist on this earth believes they're doing the right thing. Their brains have been warped so much that they believe by terrorizing people that they're doing what's best. This is what every terrorist believes, including Christians who terrorize their own children's mind. It's 2010 already. Enough of this bullshit. You people have to wake up already, and you have to realize that you are part of a cult. A cult that spreads its message through fear and terrorism. A cult that terrorizes the minds of its members until they're too afraid to question the obvious, ridiculous, bullshit fairy tales that have been fed to them ever since they were children. The God of the Bible is the largest terrorist that the mind can even fucking imagine. I mean, you cannot even imagine terror greater than being tortured forever and ever and fucking ever. Which is exactly why Christianity chose that terror. They wanted to make sure that they threatened their members with the largest goddamn terrorist threat that they could possibly think of. And torturing somebody forever is the largest goddamn terrorist threat you can possibly think of. So Christians, it's a free country. You can do whatever you want to. You can continue to terrorize the minds of your fellow human beings if you want to. You can continue to terrorize the minds of your own children if you want to. But just know that every single time you go to church on Sunday, and every single time you put your hard-earned dollars into that offering plate, you are supporting the largest terrorist organization in the entire goddamn world. And no matter how much you try to rationalize and justify it to yourself, it doesn't make it any less true. For the CultOfDusty.com, I am Dusty Smith, and as always, until next time, logic.